so that we can do the things that we've decided. And then the fourth and final one is voter turnout for 2018 was one of my campaign points. And I will admit to you, I have not started on it, but I will tell you that I have confirmed that we will be able to draw off of the van people who voted in the 2012 election, and we actually will be able to pick 2016 at the end of 16, and then we will be able to say that they didn't vote in 2014 or 2010, and do an actual, I'm going to be raising money to do an actual study of why is that happening, so that we're sure in 2018 we put out the literature, we knock on the doors, we get out the information to be sure we turn that around and get our team to the polls so that we win the governorship. And why? What's the ultimate goal? We want to be in control of redistricting in 2021. That's our ultimate goal. So we're going to work hard on taking back the Senate. We're going to work on a steady but sure, steady but sure progress on helping our assembly come back over to a Democratic majority, and we're going to take that governor's position in 2018. So now what can you do to help us do this? All right, I keep telling everybody, I jumped in with both feet. Today, tomorrow I'm in Dodge County, and I'm also up in Brown County. My husband says hi and bye to me in the morning. So I will tell you that I need everybody to jump in and do whatever you possibly can and do just a little bit more. But most importantly, right now, we need to grow our team. We need to get more people to jump in and say they're part of the team. And we want to, have them coming out to knock on doors, and all those things are really important. But have an issues group, promote an idea. And I'll tell you something that Oregon's doing, the drinking liberally. There's all kinds of good ideas around the state, and we're getting a website redesign done, and we're going to get these great ideas up on our website. And your executive team will have access to that so that they can find out great ideas. But Oregon, over in the Madison area, they just have every Friday, the last Friday of the month, they have a speaker come, and then people just come and get coffee and sit around there, and you just get to hear this great speaker and chat with friends and chat with progressives. And I hear that would kind of be nice here, because there's not always a lot of progressives in this area. But what we've seen is it improves the number of progressives, because really and honestly, my husband even told me this. He said, Martha, do you think people know what progressives are? And I'm like, well, that's a good question. We need to get we need to get programs going that are of interesting topics that people can come and they can learn about things, and we can educate them that this is what we stand for. And then when our candidates come along, people will say, well, I do want that person, because I went to that issues piece on healthcare, and I know that this candidate is talking about the things I believe are important, or about education, or about incarceration, or about how we're spending our dollars. So, good things. So the last thing I'll leave you with is that we have some exciting candidates coming up and getting in the races, and we really need everybody to pay attention to those candidates as much as you can, and do what you can to support those candidates, because it is tough being a candidate. It's a lot of work, it's a huge commitment, and it really is important that we do everything we can to support them so that we can continue to get great candidates to run for office. So I encourage you to do that. So with that, do you have any questions?
One quick local question.
Yeah.
Jeff Christensen, I'm sure he's like a local hero around here, kind of helped regenerate the party. What's he up to nowadays? I know he did the post-Praetorium, I think. And so what's he up to nowadays as second vice chair?
Jeff is right now working with our team, and he did this last year too, the Spring Forward program. He's working from red to blue. So when we have a county that's really, really red, and we know they can't necessarily win an election, that we're saying it's a pretty bleak outlook for winning this time, we're encouraging people to run, and we're giving them additional support, that candidate, and we're telling them that you may not win, but our goal is to keep moving towards blue, so to get it to be a purple county and then eventually blue. And Jeff is one of the people that is very involved in that and trying to help out with that. Yeah. Yeah.
Can you say something about ongoing or potential legal challenges to what's been called the worst example of gerrymandering in living memory?
Yeah, actually there was a study that came out, as I'm sure most of you know, that the state of Wisconsin is the most gerrymandered state in the nation, and that we actually had 200,000 more Democratic voters than Republican, yet we don't hold majorities or even close to majorities in some of our legislature anywhere. So it's a huge concern. There is a lawsuit that's been raised. It's a group of people who have stepped forward, and at this point it's moving up the, through the court system, and I am optimistic, and people say, are you really? Because it doesn't seem like we always do as well as we want to do, but I am optimistic. Fred Kessler is involved in this, and they are working hard to be sure that we're raising the issue, and that, it's hard to look at when you see all these studies coming out saying how gerrymandered we are, will our judges look at that and say that this is an issue? So we're hoping that they will, and we're waiting for a report. Last I heard, we're expecting before the end of this year that we will be getting information. Yes?
Yeah, if I may just add one little nugget to that.
Absolutely.
One of the reasons that I think that there should be optimism attached to the lawsuit that is now pending is the last time around for a major gerrymandering suit, what the court concluded was, well, we sort of like your arguments, but we don't have the data. What makes it different, the one that is now pending, that is in fact, they are offering the court a standard by which they can say, yes, this was gerrymandering, or no, this wasn't. So I think that there's a great deal more optimism to be attached to this particular lawsuit that is now pending, and it's in the right place. It's in the federal courts. I trust it.
Right.
There's one more thing too. They're going after democratic gerrymandering, I believe, in a different state.
Right. Yes.
So this is a nonpartisan issue,
That's right.
and it's wrong whichever party does it. And is it Rhode Island or somewhere up in the Northeast?
Yeah, Rhode
Where
Island.
they're going after it on the Democratic side and saying and Democrats there have an unfair advantage. It's the same issue.
So I think one of the big things for me about this is that we can't be so beat down that we don't try things. So I think this is wonderful that this group have come together and said, no, we have a legal argument here. Let's place the argument forward, and let's have that optimism and the belief that our system works, because we do come from a pretty incredible country. And we make mistakes, as we've seen, but we can turn things around. Yes?
What's the